And now the B Plus Wrestling Podcast. Watch global. Support local. It's the B Plus Wrestling Podcast.
The moves.
Not be an A, but you are a B plus.
Check it out! Here we go! You wanna mess with us? 'Cause we're steady on the ground, steady on the ground. You wanna mess with us? 'Cause we're steady on the ground.
All right, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends, welcome to another B Plus podcast. I'm your host, Greg Unchained, and it has been a while. We recovered from the PWA wrestling hangover and all that sort of stuff, and we're heading towards silly season. We're in the Burr months. The Burr months are always crazy, and life's getting on top of us, and the time zones. Fucking daylight savings, man. Daylight savings has screwed us because we're in 3 different time zones, and some of us have it, some of us don't. I'm joined, of course, by Mr. Mysterious over in Western Australia. Mr. Mysterious, how are you, man?
Feeling fantastic. We've had a little bit of a technology issue, so I'm glad to be back with the boys here and just getting ready to get back into the swing of things.
It's another thing, technology issues, and we've got Quizmaster Ben Tokyo from not from Tokyo, from down there in Tasmania. Is there a place called Tokyo, Tasmania?
Not that I'm aware of, so could be there.
You should move there. There's a
Yeah.
place called Batman, right?
With the
Bateman.
Batman Bridge, is that what you're thinking of? Is it Batman?
I don't
in
know.
Tasmania?
I remember seeing something about Batman Tasmania.
It might be the bridge.
Yeah, or Highway, Batman Highway.
Oh, that could be down near Hobart. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Anyway, we're all over the place, and so it's been very hard for us to get together because it's always too late for one, too early for another. It's been crazy, and as a result, I mean, look, with Christmas coming up, and I got kids, so I'm taking on a second job, and things are going crazy. We're gonna put the B Plus on hold probably until early 2020. So I just want to get that out there, put that on Front Street. We might still do some things from time to time if something big happens, like if CM Punk returns, or
Wrestle
if
Kingdom.
we haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we haven't come back fully by the time of Wrestle Kingdom, we will do a Wrestle Kingdom show. Stuff like that. Like, we will do big things. We'll get back in touch with you guys and all that sort of stuff. But our regular programming...
Year-end
We'll
award.
still post news as well.
Are we going to do year-end awards?
I feel like we should go through like our top matches and top wrestlers, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, we'll do something for New Year's. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but our regularly scheduled programming is going to be on hold just for a little bit until early 2020, January, February, somewhere there, we'll start back up again. And to that end, if anyone out there is listening and thinks, hey, I could do a podcast thing, or I could do some Facebook posting things, or I could write for a website, and I want to talk about wrestling, get in touch with us, because we do want to expand the team. We want to try to make sure we're covering everything and getting across everything. It's a lot of work for 3 people to do. So get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to bring new people on. Get to know you and see how it goes. So we're in a bit of a rebuild period, and we'll be kicking back off in 2020. So this is the last flagship for a little while. This is the last kind of regularly scheduled program for a little while, and we've got a lot to talk about because we haven't talked in a while. I feel like we should probably start with Crown Jewel, though, because it just happened. And we don't talk about Saudi Arabia a lot.
No. For good reason, but still.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole Saudi deal was the reason I stopped supporting WWE financially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there has been some change made at the latest Crown Jewel, of course, with the very first women's match in history.
Right. So, the first women's match in Saudi Arabia, where they had them dressed like idiots.
Yeah. I saw the picture.
Right?
With they had a black outfit, just then have a pink t-shirt, like a really loose, baggy t-shirt over the top.
They had to have everything covered, obviously, and then also wear a really baggy t-shirt. And I'm sorry. If I sound like a joke. Like, I understand this is a brilliant thing, and yes, there were women tearing up in the audience, and I don't know if it was because they had just come from being beaten. I don't know, but I know that there was genuine emotion there, and I feel really good for the young girls who got to see that. I feel really good for the women who got to see that, but at the same time, like, I mean, would anyone else have done this match other than Natalia and like one of the younger girls, like a Lacey Evans or a Mandy Rose, or some of the younger members of the roster? Would a Becky Lynch go out there and be like, "Yeah, I'll dress how they say. I'll completely, dampen who I am as a person"? Would Sasha Banks go out there, be like, "I won't be me. I'll just be this weird corporate blob that goes out there to further women's rights"? Would they have done it? I don't think they would have.
I highly doubt it. And you hear all like their justification was that both of them ticked all the boxes, was the phrase that went around, which no idea what that means, but like, are they both blonde?
I know what it means. Yeah. It means they'll do anything for the company. Like, they're company girls. And so they're not going to be like, no, why on earth would my character decide to cover herself up for a religious leader? Like a cult-like state. Why would I do that? I'm out there to empower people. Like, I feel like a lot of the better, bigger characters in the company wouldn't do that. That's why it went to Natalia, because she's a company girl. She'll say yes to anything.
With Natalia, I feel like, how many opportunities does she have left to have the spotlight on her? And this is like, well, if these other people probably don't want to do it, I'm going to jump at this chance. So that's the way I look at it for her.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's like, well, look, Charlotte gets the first everything. This is my last chance to get the first anything. Yeah. So she jumped on it. But it's I don't know. I thought it's good, but also, I don't know. Is it enough? I don't know. They're still going and taking money from a murderous. Well, are they taking money? Let's talk about that. Have you seen the latest reports?
Oh, with the financials?
With the financials.
Yeah. So Hugo Savinovich, the former Spanish announce table guy for WWE, he's very well connected. He went on his podcast and was recapping SmackDown and all that sort of stuff. And so obviously they had the flight issues, right? Mm-hmm. Where was it 175 of them of staff and roster who got stuck in Saudi Arabia for an extra day. And WWE released a statement, and so did an airline, the Atlas Airlines, who they chartered their flights with. They released statements claiming it was mechanical issues, but there were tweets going around like Rusev being like, "We need all your prayers right now." Like, I don't know, there were tweets from people that made it
seem a bit scary.
Yeah, It seemed like they were scared, like there's something going on. If they're just sitting on the tarmac waiting for an engine to get fixed, I don't think they're going to be that scared, right? And then Hugo comes out on his podcast and he's like, "Look, I talked to people who were there and directly involved in the situation, and what happened was the Saudis have not paid up to WWE. So
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, apparently there's $300 to $500 million still owed to WWE for the last two shows. And as a result, Vince McMahon retaliated by cutting off the live stream to the Saudi TV channels.
How did he do that? It's not Sin Cara tripping over a cord backstage again.
Well, I don't know. It basically, this is what Hugo says, right? So this is all coming from Hugo Savinovich's podcast, and he has a direct source apparently. And I think PW Insider or someone, I did see it elsewhere, reported elsewhere as well, that they're like, this sounds like, what we're hearing as well. So the rumors going around are that the Saudis still owe Vince $300 to $500 million, and as a result, he decided halfway through the show to cut off the TV feed to the Saudi Arabian sports channels. So it was still going live on WWE Network, and the show was still happening for the people in attendance, which of course included the Crown Prince. He was there at the show. But the people watching at home on TV, because it's on their free-to-air TV, they don't have WWE Network in Saudi Arabia, they're just watching it on TV. Mm-hmm. They had the show cut off. And then when the Crown Prince found out about this, Vince had already left the country. Vince and his crew had already left because they had to get over for SmackDown. They left straight after the show. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar left on a private jet just after the show as well. But everyone else was sort of boarding the plane as the Crown Prince finds out about this and decides that he's pissed off that Vince cut off the TV feed, and he demands that the
this makes me think off the plane. I'm thinking of Argo, that Ben Affleck movie, how it comes down to the end, they're sitting on the tarmac, and they need to get that plane take off, and it needs to cross over like the border, and then they're free to go. Like, imagine the WWE movie of this. There's them like, come on, get out of the country. It's like, oh my god,
they're safe.
This is exhilarating thinking about.
Yeah.
WWE couldn't make a movie about this. Not a good one, at least.
But here's the thing, right? That's fucking terrifying, and that explains some of the tweets.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me, especially when you look at, like, if you Google Saudi Arabia money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you'll get a lot of things, but Saudi Arabia owe Canada like $3 billion for a bunch of like tanks and stuff. They owe, like, they're kind of notorious for not paying their bills.
No wonder they're so rich. They're not paying up.
Exactly. It's real easy to be rich when you just don't pay anyone the money that you've said you'll pay them. So, you know, I don't know. I don't find it that hard to believe that this has happened. If it happened, though, there's a few things here that worry me for WWE. One, that's Vince McMahon is endangering talent in that case. He cuts a live feed and then pisses off out of the country with like, this is a ridiculous, extreme religious regime that he's leaving his people.
Wasn't it the anniversary of Khashoggi's death as well?
Yeah.
Within the last days, yeah.
So it's like renowned for this hair trigger, you know, just ridiculousness, and you know, anything could have happened. Where it's if this is what happened, I think it's pretty lucky and remarkable that they've all come back alive.
You hear some of the tweets how they're saying, like, never again.
Yeah, Buddy Murphy said never again. And there was a couple like people, what was it? Carl Anderson said, "You could not pay me enough to go back." Well, I do need a new pool. So he's kind of making light of it, but also being like, you couldn't pay me enough to go back. I don't know. And I don't know when the next one is. But I know that on the recent Q3 financial call, I always forget the words for these things, but on their recent investors call, they said that, you know, originally the plan was for 3 a year for 10 years, right? And now they're dialing it back to 1 a year. I don't know. It seems sus to me. I hope that the deal ends soon. I hope that Vince cuts his losses and just maybe even spills all. Just, you know, make himself wanted. Get a fatwa put out on him because of spilling the beans on the Crown Prince.
Oh, jeez. I didn't know about all that stuff. That's crazy.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? And but here's the thing. If that is what happened, I really think there's a case to be made that Vince McMahon is endangering his talent and his staff by cutting the feed and then leaving the country. But not only that, they put out a statement saying it was mechanical issues, and the airline put out a statement. You're defrauding investors at that point.
At what point does he not get ousted?
Did Vince leave before the show had finished?
No, he left right after the show finished.
Okay.
And so I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure if you put out false PR statements as a publicly traded company, that's defrauding investors.
Oh, they do that every WrestleMania attendance.
No, that's a work, brother. That's a work. Like, I don't know, man. It's dodgy as shit, and I'm worried, and I hope that they don't go back. And I hope that if they do go back, I hope like all the talent stand up and just be like, you know what?
No.
Nah, man. Not after last time, because that was terrifying. But yeah, they're all safe and sound in America now and doing their thing.
But from all accounts, you know, this whole crown jewel kerfuffle led to something really good on SmackDown, though.
Yeah,
did they turn? Did you watch it, Mysterious?
I did. I watched the whole thing, which is rare.
Yeah, rare. So rare for me. I started hearing, hey, this is really good, and so I tuned in about the women's segment where Rhea Ripley and stuff did their thing. And I stayed glued to it the entire time, and then I immediately went and rewound and watched the whole thing again. And it was the best WWE TV show of all of 2019 so far, in my opinion. Like, hands down. They turned chicken shit into chicken salad. So their roster was unavailable, so they flew in a bunch of NXT guys and they turned it into the story because they're building towards Survivor Series now, where it's going to be Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT.
The NXT people, when they landed, they had to get a police escort to the arena. Was they landed like 5 minutes before showtime? So that's why they didn't turn up immediately.
Yeah.
No, I saw that. That's why Paul Heyman's promo went for so long, and that's why they put the women's title match with Bayley and stuff on first, because they needed to kill time to get the NXT people there and dressed and ready to go, which is pretty crazy.
But you just think like how they were gonna like rectify the situation, like have it be Evolution 2, because none of the, like, aside from Natalia and Lacey Evans, none of the women were there, or like some of the talent that didn't go, like you had your Kevin Owens, your Daniel Bryans, your Sami Zayns, have them be front and center. So they kind of did that, but exponentially so with the NXT talent, which lightning in a bottle was incredible.
Yeah, well, I mean, it made sense for the story too, because they are doing the Survivor Series gimmick with all 3 shows now that NXT are on USA. But if I'm a Fox executive, though, so here's the thing: the live crowd, were hotter than any WWE crowd I've heard since post WrestleMania. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it was just definitely SmackDown on Fox. The SmackDown on Fox era has been 6 weeks,
if that. Yeah, 5-6 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, and this was the hottest live crowd they've had. Beyond that, their ratings went up, right? Don't believe the numbers that say it went up 155% or whatever. They had catastrophic numbers last week. They were down to 888,000, but that was because they were on Fox Sports 1 because of some sports things.
Different
Sports
channel.
ball.
Different channel, harder to find. Some people just said, screw it, don't worry about watching this week.
Yeah, so they were on a different channel. They were back on Fox this week, but they were up 15% from 2 weeks ago.
Exactly.
Right? And not only that, if you look at the hour by hour, this is the first time in the SmackDown on Fox era that the numbers went up in hour 2. That means every other week that SmackDown has been on Fox, people tune in to watch and go, and turn off after an hour or so, right? This week, people were talking about how fucking good it was. Other people were hearing, turning it on, and the numbers grew in the second hour, right?
Yeah,
if you're a Fox executive,
yeah,
aren't you pissed off that you didn't pay $1 billion for NXT instead?
Oh God, yeah.
This is what the people want.
You think this would be like a rallying cry for them to get out of Full Sail and to start traveling, and I think that was part of it as well.
Those NXT guys still not getting a raise, even though they're on USA.
No, the pay. Yeah. Oh God, that's another thing.
Oh man, WWE is a company in crisis. Let's be honest. And people can say all they want. Oh, they've got the $1 billion deals and rah rah rah, all this stuff. That stuff can all go away very quickly if they don't do the right things. And they feel like a company in crisis to me. How are you not paying the NXT guys
main event money,
a comparable amount of money now? They're on USA.
$20 million a year from USA to have NXT
on there. I don't understand it.
So talent don't get shit.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It's what the talent do get is awful t-shirts, but I think we'll talk about that a little later.
Oh God.
Because we got to circle back around to get to that. But NXT, man, so they took over SmackDown, and it was what, Matt Riddle and Keith Lee just destroying Sami Zayn, and then Matt Riddle putting out tweets being like it should have been Brock Lesnar. Then you got Rhea Ripley and Tegan Nox just decimating Fire and Desire, throwing Sonya Deville literally into Renee Young. Renee Young was on commentary and she tweeted out, she's like, never again, and just tweets this picture that's a close-up of just Sonya Deville's foot just smacking her right in the head. So good. But the NXT people, every single one of them, what was it? Ciampa took on Miz, and then Adam Cole successfully defended the NXT title against Daniel Bryan in what is for me the TV match of the year, probably. There was was it Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins had some bangers on SmackDown a while ago. Yeah, but this is probably top 3, top 5 TV matches of the year, if not the very top, was this Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan NXT title defense. But the NXT stars, every single one of them, looked like $1 million fucking dollars.
And just like a little thing, Michael Cole not on commentary, I think helped exponentially.
Yeah. The commentary was. I actually really enjoyed Pat McAfee. I'm one of those rare people that like Pat McAfee. And I thought he did a fucking fantastic job for a guy who, he got to the show with the NXT people and wandered out after the third match or something and got put on commentary.
Just felt so natural, and the only real non-NXT segment they got at the very start, which also a big shocking thing, but not as shocking compared to everything else. Brock Lesnar is now a Raw superstar.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, right? Because the Fiend... Oh, we should talk about that at Crown Jewel. The Fiend won the title.
Which is very surprising. One of the ways...
Well, not really. They had to. Well, Surely they had to.
To salvage the Fiend, they had to, but you kind of thought, like, oh, they wouldn't do the right thing, in my mind, but they actually realized, like, oh, shit, there's only really one way that we can do this, and forget the draft. Like, you had two world champions on the one brand, and now Brock Lesnar to make the sense of Cain Velasquez and Rey Mysterio, all of that. Brock Lesnar's on the hunt for Rey Mysterio on Raw.
Yeah, so he's quitting SmackDown just so he can go chase Rey Mysterio. Which, I mean, at least they've written it well. At least it makes sense. That's a good storyline, right? That's hot. I like that. That makes me happy that they've taken some care. It doesn't feel lazy and last minute. Oh shit, we forgot we have Brock Lesnar who has the title. We have to somehow switch these things. Like, and there's a logical, coherent story reason. And of course, Brock Lesnar just destroyed Cain Velasquez in Saudi Arabia.
2 minutes.
2 minutes? 2 minute match? Like, I didn't watch the Crown Jewel show, but from what I hear, it was like 2-3 minutes tops. And you know, which I just don't understand where they go with the Brock Lesnar stuff. Like, is Rey Mysterio going to beat him? Is that what's going to happen? I can't see it.
I think part of it was like Cain Velasquez, because he had a knee injury, like he was avoiding surgery. He was going to do that stem cell treatment that a lot of older wrestlers are doing as of late, and they thought that would be enough, but it turns out it was kind of worse than they thought, so which is why they had the match only last for like 2 minutes, which, like, it's good that they've
I didn't hear about that. Yeah,
it's good that they have that story of Ray, but you think Cain Velasquez has signed a multi-year deal. Like, where the hell do you go with him now?
Yeah, but I mean, so did Ronda Rousey, and now she's just on Total Divas.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe they'll come up with maybe they'll put Cain Velasquez on Total Divas. You know? Just work him into a relationship with someone. Who knows? Lana's on the prowl, isn't she?
Oh, yeah. All that stuff, like, which is a lot of things that's happened recently while we've been away. The whole...
Let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not. Let me say this about the Lana Rusev cuckolding thing. If you want to hear a great analysis on what cuckolding is, how this isn't cuckolding, and how they could make it cuckolding by wrapping the 24/7 title, Drake, and a bunch of other things into it, go listen to Voices of Wrestling, because they...
Yes, I listened to that about an hour ago.
Oh, man, they fucking killed it. They actually turned it into a logical cuck storyline where everyone walks out happy. It was amazing. So go listen to Voices of Wrestling. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it does involve Drake, his wife, the 24/7 title, Bobby Lashley, Rusev, and Lana, and they make magic out of it. They really, really do make magic out of it. It's brilliant. So, guys, go listen to Voices of Wrestling. I think that's enough WWE talk for now. I don't want to... I mean, there's nothing else really exciting happening in WWE except for NXT. And, you know, this whole takeover on SmackDown was clearly the most exciting thing. It bumps the ratings. It has the crowd hot for the first time. It has people online saying, oh, wow, SmackDown was good for the first time in, you know, how many years. This has been really exciting. It says a lot about WWE that they operate best with a skeleton crew, with Triple H in charge, and using new talent, young talent that aren't necessarily seen all the time on TV. I think it speaks volumes. But I also think that SmackDown episode happening on Fox, 2.5 million people watching, what a huge fucking ad that was for NXT on USA.
You have to think that NXT are going to beat AEW in the ratings.
I think it's going to turn the tide in this week's ratings war. I really do. Yeah. Because the Wednesday wars, they tick on.
Is this the Go Home show coming up next week for AEW?
For Full Gear, yeah.
For Full Gear, yeah. Shit, I have to order the Full Gear pay-per-view. I haven't done that yet.
How much does that cost, by the way? I haven't looked at that yet. Was it like 30?
I think I haven't looked at this one, but generally they've been like $15,
I think
$20.
Fest was not a mainline show. I think that was a bit cheaper, wasn't it?
Well, they've been cheap though. Like even All Out, I think All Out was like $20. Maybe I had credits or something.
So I've actually been watching every episode of Dynamite. I'm up to date on that. So not just the New Japan guy.
Yeah. No, that's good. I feel like between Dynamite and NWA Power and even AEW Dark on Tuesdays, it's really easy to be a wrestling fan at the moment. Like I haven't watched any WWE except for that SmackDown show, and that was really good. And I'm like amped up about wrestling. I'm like, this is like wrestling's really good right now.
I like the way they've
you got Impact
on Dynamite. They've really been playing with how they space in the ad breaks. Like the first couple of weeks, I feel like we have a lot. Like when you're watching on AEW on Plus on Fight TV, a lot of the ad breaks, you're just like watching the arena, just like the hard camera up in the corner. And I feel like they've been moving away from that mostly, and the ads are happening during matches, but we still continue watching match. And they've just, I think they've been playing with the formula.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even know that they've been to an ad until JR's like, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm like, wait, you guys were just talking the entire time because they're in the middle of a match. Or they one of their favorite things to do is having the wrestlers before their match, right, or after their match, kill time around the ringside area with the crowd.
Skipping less because the ads have been during matches, and they're not just going to rest holds. They're not doing like a WWE a Raw taping top of them. So it's been good. Yeah. But what did you guys think of the limo ride with Tony and Cody? Because I was getting made like Pulp Fiction is one of my favorite films of all time, but I can never watch the scene with Bruce Willis talk in the taxi. Like that just goes on forever. Like it's the most boring scene ever. And I just hated this limo ride. The camera, like it was bumpy. You could hear every single bump. Just the way it was, the sound was like I was not into this. But the rest of the show.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, it was a throwback to Starrcade '93 or something.
And...
Yeah, look, I appreciate Cody's a huge history buff with the WCW and all that sort of stuff, and he wants to do his little homages and stuff. I think that there's a subset of the audience who would really appreciate that stuff, just like there's a subset of the audience, and we can talk about this in a second, with Kenny Omega's entrances, right?
Yeah,
like there's a subset of the audience. Well, I love that. But anyway, there's a subset of the audience, but I think that it was too long, and it didn't serve enough of a purpose. Like, at the end of it, I just found myself going, why? Why did I just watch that?
Definitely not for me.
Like, it didn't build anywhere.
No.
You would have... Like, we haven't seen video packages of who is Pac. Why do we care about Pac, right? Who is Moxley? Who is Cody? Like, I mean, we've gotten pretty well introduced to Cody and Jericho, but who is Omega? Like, a lot of the top stars, like, we would have been better serviced instead of a 10-minute fucking limousine ride where they were just talking shit. We would have been better serviced with a video package of who someone is and get introduced to a new character.
I don't watch any of those, what they do, Road to, videos, and their being elite. Like, I don't watch any of that stuff. Does that cover any of those
Road
sort of
2 did,
questions?
But they haven't been doing them anymore.
Yeah.
Being the Elite kind of has some stuff, but it's like obviously in between all the other storylines they have in there. Like
Being
really,
the Elite's more like silly shenanigans.
Yeah, like you turn to Dark more, or the new one that the Young Bucks are doing, like on the road, like ordering takeout or something.
Yeah, ordering room service with wrestlers.
Service.
Yeah.
You get some more insights in there, but yeah, you're right. In terms of on camera for Dynamite, it's not quite there.
Yeah, I want them to be introducing characters more. Like, I appreciate things being focused on the ring, but I also really liked this latest episode where things finally stepped away from the ring, right? Like, we saw the Rock and Roll Express amping up Private Party, right? Mm-hmm. And we saw obviously the attack after the contract signing, and they went out and they fought out to the limo and stuff. And last week on the concourse I do appreciate that they're very action focused, but I really like something AEW do really well on those Road 2 things were the video packages introducing characters and telling us why we should give a shit. Like, if I have to hear one more time that Britt Baker is a fucking dentist, I don't care. Like, show me why I should give a shit that she's a dentist. You know, do a video package where she's, you're cutting in clips of her training and clips of her, doing people's teeth. And she's like, on the weekends, I kick people's teeth out.
It was in her hometown, wasn't
and
it?
Her patient looked awkward, Yeah, but they're obviously very high on Britt Baker, but it's not translating for me.
I think that Shanna could have done with some video maybe, because I've never even heard of this woman before, and then she gets this long match with Sheeta. So
yeah, which was a really good match, and the entire crowd was dead for the beginning, but into it by the end, which is a testament to the audience that likes AEW. They can be won over by a good wrestling. I think they expected it
to be a squash match, so it's like, oh, what? We're actually supposed to get into this, are we?
Yeah, I like that Shanna chick, man. She's and she got signed now to a 3-year deal, so maybe we will get an introduction to her properly. Because I've seen her briefly in Stardom, but she hasn't even been in Stardom for long. You know?
Anything else to talk about?
Speaking of, where's Sadie Gibbs?
Who? I don't think I've even heard of that person.
Oh, they signed her. I mean, look, the AEW women's division needs to be featured more.
Have they put any women's matches on Dark yet?
Yes, they did. The last episode, there was a Fatal 4-Way,
Okay.
Yeah, they've had a couple. I think they had a Fatal 4-Way. They had a tag team match as well. The tag team match was a real stinker. But probably the only bad AEW match I've seen was a women's tag team match on Dark. Or was it the 4-Way I'm thinking of?
You have to think now that we've got new tag team champions, now the inaugural tag team champions in SCU, you have to think they're going to, okay, now it's like time to focus on the ladies, like the women's division or the women's tag team division. See what they're trying to
build your women's division before you try to do women's tags. Sorry.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But no, how do you guys feel about SCU being the first tag team champions? Because I really thought the Lucha Brothers needed that win.
I think it's fine.
I'm fine with it.
They seem to be featured as like the opening match guys for a while, and it's like, okay, now they're the tag team champions.
Yeah, they're the legends, right? I wonder how much Christopher Daniels being taken out by it was the Lucha Brothers that attacked, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
How much Christopher Daniels being taken out and Scorpio having to step in. I wonder how much that's going to play in. Like, are we going to get some kind of little inter-SCU tensions of the fact that, that should have been me in that spot, or are they just going to keep going fine as they are? Like, I don't know. There's some interesting threads that can be pulled on there. Mm-hmm. But I thought that Lucha Brothers, I mean, they've just lost and lost, and I mean, they won their opening round matches, but then you get to the big match and they lose. And I sort of look at it and I'm like, I love them as a tag team, but I also love them as individuals wrestlers. And if they're just going to keep losing as a tag team, I'd kind of rather see them. Pentagon could be in the main event scene
easily, but I feel like they, depending on because we need a tag title match for Full Gear, maybe they could have another rematch down the line. And the SCU, they've made the history. They don't need to have a long reign. I can see the Lucha Brothers in no time at all, grabbing that gold, because aren't they still the AAA tag team champions? They're still fresh in people's minds.
I don't follow AAA, but I do know that. Yeah, I just think that if it was just sort of a temporary nod, if they're only going to hold the titles for a little bit, if it was just a little nod to hey, we want you guys to be the first because you're SC fucking you. Mm-hmm. In that case, I guess I can kind of understand that, but also I really thought the Lucha Brothers needed that win. They're building up LAX really well though. Dressing up as Rick and Morty and attacking.
That was great.
Let's talk about Rick and Morty, and let's talk about Kenny Omega's entrances, because I think those are the other two hot button issues. Cody's vanity projects, Kenny's vanity projects. Mm-hmm. Kenny, they haven't introduced the character properly on TV, but they expect us to get all these gamer references and stuff that he does, and I get that it's fun, and it's fun for the elite fans, the fans that have followed Kenny Omega, that have followed Ring of Honor, that have followed New Japan, but I got to think a lot of people watching on TV who don't know who this guy is are just scratching their head.
Yeah, and it's who is this shadowy figure in the 8-bit intro? The Kota Ibushi, and they need to spell this stuff out a bit more. I think.
Yeah,
it's still too early in All Elite Wrestling for them to assume that everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. I mean, look, my favorite. I don't like insulting the audience. Like WWE do. I don't like, acting like your audience are completely dumb. But something Stan Lee always said is every comic book is someone's first comic book, right? Every episode of AEW Dark is someone's first episode of AEW Dark. If I can't tune into any random segment and understand pretty quickly within 5-10 minutes who these people are and why they're fighting, whether it comes from the commentary, just their actions. Like, I need to be able to get a sense of these things, and Kenny Omega's just not giving me a sense of it at all. At all. I understand. That Kota Ibushi, the shadowy figure thing, was interesting, and it sparked a lot of people being like, oh, well, obviously they're going to have a deal with New Japan now. And Matt Jackson on Twitter is just like, no, it's not happening. I need to let you know this is not happening. No. We can't let fans think that this is happening, because it's not happening. Why have that included there? I don't understand.
I don't know. It was fun. It gets people talking. It's good stuff.
Yeah, but I just you gotta be careful with that kind of thing. If it's not going to lead anywhere, what people want from AEW is that commitment to long-term storytelling that we've expected from the Elite over the years, and you can't just throw nuggets in there that are never going to be picked up on.
Maybe if they phase out the online shows, maybe once they phase out being the Elite, they'll actually start doing those kinds of things. But again, they're trying to balance this all, and right now they're not failing by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah, there's a couple of things 100%. Tweak.
Are you saying you didn't like Merch Freak? Okay,
I love Merch Freak.
Can we talk about Jim Ross quickly? Because 2 weeks ago on Dynamite, he was fucking terrible. The way he was carrying on. Oh, if you just go for a pin, the Lucha Bros versus Private Party, the way he was having a sook during that match, oh my God. It was like I was watching the wrestling with my dad, who doesn't generally like wrestling at all. And he's like, oh, why didn't he just hit him? And I was embarrassed watching it. It's with old Uncle Jim criticizing everything.
Good old JR, your job is to put what's happening over. And, bless Excalibur, he's fucking trying.
Yeah.
And JR's burying it. But, who did a brilliant fucking job? Taz. Did you watch AEW Dark?
No.
Taz is the guy.
Last week.
They were in Philadelphia, so they had Taz in just for a guest spot on Dark. And he's the fucking guy. Bring Taz in. Sorry, JR. Love ya. I think JR's role should be those sit-down interviews, right? The sit-down that he had with... Ty Dillinger, what's his name? Sean Spears. Yeah.
Sean Spears.
Yeah, see, he's back to Ty Dillinger in my brain because they've already destroyed that character. He's kind of not doing anything, and it bums me out. Anyway, when he did the Sean Spears, that should be JR's role, I think, in AEW, and let Taz take the commentary, man, because he fucking killed it.
Did they have somebody else on guest commentary this week?
You had.
Was it one of the AEW actual wrestlers was on commentary? I thought I heard something.
I haven't watched Dark yet. I haven't watched Dark.
Oh, it hasn't come out yet, has it?
So.
No.
No, there's one episode that I haven't watched just because there's been a lot going on. So, but yeah, there's been one episode of Dark I haven't watched, but I don't think I've seen anything about anyone else guest commentating. But I did enjoy Taz.
No, I think it's pretty sure it's just been Chaz, yeah.
But that's so AEW, and I guess the other thing was the Rick and Morty, the other thing we wanted to talk about. So we've covered Cody's vanity, we've covered Kenny's vanity. Rick and Morty, I don't know whose vanity TNT. This is, but I fucking love it, man. Yeah, TNT, it's corporate synergy, JR.
It was fun. I liked it. It didn't overstay as well. That match went for a minute, 3 minutes or something. It was a very short match. It felt like a lot of stuff happened. No. I didn't even recognize Trent Beretta.
WWE needs to take note.
Who is this guy? No. Because he didn't have the stupid bandana on. He looked good.
Yeah. WWE need to take note of how to do these weird crossover celebrity-ish things, because AEW did it with Kevin Smith, and I thought they nailed it then too. And they've done it here with the Rick and Morty thing. And it doesn't, very clearly I'm being sold something. JR made that painfully obvious, and Excalibur kind of saved it with his corporate synergy line. But it was just fun, man. It was so fucking fun. AEW makes wrestling fun. I'm enjoying it a lot.
One of the many promotions right now, which, once you drop all the stuff with WWE, all the drama and all the stuff that's going on there, but... NWA Power.
It's easy to be a wrestling fan between those, for sure. Yeah, for sure. We're going to talk about NXT though. NXT chugging along towards War Games. It looks like we're getting a women's. Well, we are. They've announced it now. We're getting a women's War Games match. They haven't announced the teams as of yet.
You have to think the horsewomen are going to be involved though on one side, and then like Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, like something like that.
They got a lot of people involved though. You got Candice there hanging around. You got Bianca Belair. You got Tegan, Rhea. Rhea's one of the captains, right?
Yeah, I think it's Rhea
and Shayna.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think Shayna will pick her 2 girls, but there's actually like she may turn to the 2 other horsewomen in NXT and just be like, you know what, you guys aren't ready for it. Because they've got, storyline wise, they've got a lot of other girls involved in this whole thing, and they can't. I don't know. The horsewomen actually seem like the easiest ones to leave out.
That's true. And it would give a better opportunity for their women's division to like capitalize and make history.
NXT women's division is stacked. I'm enjoying, generally speaking, I'm enjoying AEW's women's matches more because they're partnering a Joshi girl with someone else, and these matches just fucking slap. Like, that Sheeta vs. Shanna match was a great fucking match. Riho vs. Nyla was a great fucking match. Like, I'm really enjoying the AEW women's division, but the NXT women's division, it has so much story and so much depth, and the characters are characters that we care about. Which AEW still needs to work on with their women's division.
Yeah, and like, although like to be fair, like NXT, like what had 5 years or so, like
they've got a couple of years on them, and NXT has always been good at women's wrestling. Like, it's where the women's evolution started. You know, you look at all the names that are on top right now. You know, your Charlotte, your Becky, your Bayley, your Sasha. They were the NXT women's evolution. I mean, before that, Paige, Natalya, Paige, Summer Rae. Natalya had good matches with Summer Rae on NXT. I can't say this enough. You know, NXT has always done women's wrestling really, really well.
NXT doesn't have Brandy Rhodes though, do they? So they should look out.
No, they don't.
With this Brandy Rhodes thing.
We didn't talk about that.
It's 2 weeks in a row.
Broken Brandy Rhodes.
God, I don't know. I'm not too keen on this idea.
She's a witch or something. Was she, like, trying to make herself be possessed by the spirit of Awesome Kong? Was she summoning Awesome Kong? I have more questions from that video than answers.
It was like a Halloween thing. Like, you have to imagine it's, like, summoning, like, working alongside Kong. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, NXT War Games. We've also got, the stuff going on with Undisputed Era and whatnot there over in NXT as well. I don't know, man. Like, they're putting on really, really good matches, but like, as I'm talking about it, I'm forgetting the stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they've always been the gold standard for work rate, but yeah, NXT, like, there needs to be a little bit more in terms of storylines, and
it feels like it's gone from being a well planned out show because they were filming 4 at a time to being booked on the fly like everything else in WWE. And I mean, like, how many more Keith Lee and Dijakovic matches are we gonna? I can never say his name, but how many more of those matches are we gonna see? You know what I mean? Like
Dijakovic.
Is it Dijakovic? I thought it was Dijakovic.
But no, I see your point.
Like, I don't know. I'm expecting more. And it's fallen back into the same as WWE. Like, the only thing that's exciting me is the women's division. Which isn't ideal. You know? Why isn't Matt Riddle getting a huge push on top? I don't understand that.
Maybe they're leaning more towards like a tag team for him with Keith Lee. That seems to be the go-to thing at the moment. Like, them to knock off Undisputed.
Because I guess they are doing the whole Undisputed Era thing. And Adam Cole on top. Adam Cole deserves to be on top. I love Adam Cole on top. Adam Cole is probably the best wrestler in WWE this year.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of quality of high-level output. I'm trying to think of who would best him in WWE. Maybe...
Or just ask Seth Rollins, he'll tell
you. Maybe Mustafa Ali.
Ali is a good one, yeah.
Maybe Buddy Murphy. Like, Buddy Murphy and Roman Reigns, that slapped.
Oh,
you know?
Great.
But like, these are the names that I'm looking at as the best wrestlers in WWE, and so Adam Cole being on top, I really enjoy. But at the same time, like, Matt Riddle's a fucking star, man. He's a star.
He is. He's got that aura about him.
How's he not the face of your brand?
It's crazy thing. And yeah, as Ben mentioned, like, you are Seth, like, it's just work rate. Yes, he is a great wrestler, but yeah, he needs to lay off the Twitter maybe.
Look, here's the thing, Seth. What have you done for me lately?
You lost.
Where's the good Seth Rollins match in 2019? So, well, good's not. That's not nice. All of his matches are good. Where's the great Seth Rollins match in 2019? There isn't one.
No, they're just conquering Brock Lesnar, facing off against the Fiend in the red filter. It really hasn't. No.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's his fault either.
No.
If he was let off the leash and if they were booking, well, he could absolutely have be the best wrestler in the world. He could, but is he right now? He's not even the best in the company. Sorry, man.
No.
That's just facts. I can't really say it's facts, but let's take a break now, and before we cross over to the other side of the world and talk about like Japan and all that sort of stuff, and let's let Quizmaster Ben do his thing. And have you got a quiz for us this week?
Yes, I've got a quiz. I've had this quiz for like the last 10 days, and now I'm just reading over them for the first time. So dated theme, but that's fair enough. So
fair enough. It's been a while. It's been a while. Yep. Let's hit the music.
Okay. All right. So the buzz in, you say buzz, and then you just have to give each other a compliment. And then question one, obviously dated question. Brock Lesnar is looking to cat's running across the bed. Go away. Brock Lesnar is looking to avenge his UFC loss against Cain Velasquez, but who was his first UFC loss to?
Oh.
I don't know, but I'm going to give a guess. Greg, I like your dreads, your hair.
Oh, thanks, man.
Like, yeah. But I'm.
Correct.
Is it Frank Mir? Is
that who you were going to guess?
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't have got that. No, I was going to say John Jones because I know they did that whole angle that they were building up.
Question two. Eric Bischoff was recently fired from the WWE. What was his single wrestling championship that he held?
Eric Bischoff held a title?
Yes. Mysterious?
You have a soothing voice, Greg, like listening from here.
That's a lie.
I'm pretty sure it's WCW, the world title. I think at one stage he had
Incorrect.
Incorrect? Okay.
You might be thinking of Russo.
Yeah,
I know Russo held the world title. All right.
It's not the world title.
Bzz.
Yes.
Mysterious has a work ethic unlike anyone I've ever met.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm going to say Eric Bischoff held the WCW. It's got to be WCW, right?
Yes, it's WCW.
You'd have to think. Yeah.
The WCW hardcore title?
Correct. And if you want
a
bonus point for guessing who he pinned?
Norman Smiley.
No. Mysterious.
Norman Smiley held that title a lot. So
bonus point?
Should we make it a
bonus?
You
can steal the bonus point if you get it right.
Nah, I don't think I'll get it.
Raven.
It's like very late. Yeah.
It was Terry Funk.
Terry Funk. Oh,
Terry
okay.
Funk.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
There you go.
He wasn't Terry Funk at that stage, though, was it? He was Chainsaw Charlie? Was that his...
Didn't he go by that when he was in WWF in the 90s? Was he Terry Funk in...
Man, I don't remember.
I
remember... No, I'm pretty sure for the WCW hardcore title stuff, he was Chainsaw Charlie. Or he was something else entirely. I can't remember what his gimmick was, but I remember, like, hey, that's Terry Funk from my ECW tapes, but they're not calling him Terry Funk.
Because he had the stocking over his head. That was WWF. I'm sure of it.
No, he did that in WCW as well, I'm sure. I can't be... I might be completely mistaken. I might be getting completely mixed up with, like, videotapes and stuff that I saw. But I loved the WCW hardcore title scene with, like, fucking... they had, like, Raven was involved there for a bit. He ended up going over to WWF too, but like the
Norman
Smiley. I remember him having the title
toilets. Those most flimsy rubbish bin lids that they use in WCW. It's like tinfoil.
Yeah. Hack, right? Sandman, but he was known as Hack for some reason. Good stuff. Good stuff. I love late era, just before it dies, WCW. Makes me happy, man.
Yeah, maybe like 99, 2000. I wouldn't go much further. So we had the MCW, their 9-year anniversary. Now, I went on Cage Match back to their very first show. Now, is this correct that their very first show was a PWA versus MCW show? Like, how can this be the first show? How can you have your first show when it's versus another company?
Well, because PWA... I mean, we'd have to talk to one of them to get the exact history. I have no idea the specifics. But PWA was like a family of companies. There was PWA Queensland, PWA New South Wales, which is the currently, the one that we know. And I think there was a PWA in Victoria as well. And then MCW was previously ACW, Australian Championship Wrestling, but they rebranded. So it wasn't their first show. It was their first show as MCW.
So I've got the card for that very first event here, and I want you to go 1 for 1 naming wrestlers on this show. And you can get like 2 incorrect each before you're buzzed out. Sound good? So no compliments needed. I'll actually do a compliment for the first to go first.
Okay. Mysterious looks really good with glasses. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. Ryan Eagles.
Yes, he's on the list in the main event. Mysterious. You got one for him?
Yeah, I know. I watched the show recently.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I watched the show recently on Vimeo. This one's going to be easy for me.
Great. No, so my turn, or do I have to say a compliment?
Yeah, you go.
Okay. Adam Brooks.
Oh, I don't see him on here.
Not on there?
No.
He's not on show, so you only get one more incorrect.
Okay. Dowie James.
Well, hang on. Oh, wait.
No, we're going to...
Well, is that how it works, or is it...
Go throw back to Greg for the next one, but what do you reckon?
Okay, go on.
Okay, Greg,
right.
Danny Psycho.
Yes, also in the main event. Mysterious. The heat's on.
So just go Dowie James, yeah?
Yes, Dowie James is on the show under a different name.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a Champagne Pyro. Okay.
Champagne Pyro.
Greg.
Damian Slater.
Yes, he was against Dowie James.
Champagne Pyro. Yes, indeed.
Mysterious.
Like I said, I watched it recently.
Well, hopefully you forget.
Oh, God. Mike Burr.
He's not on here unless he was going under a different name. Greg, was he on the show? Was he this other? There is a. I don't just give away. It's like, was this his? This kind of...
No, I don't think
he's not. He's not on here.
No, I don't think Mike.
Okay, Greg, you got to get it to win.
Okay,
next one.
No. Okay, well, Matt Silver.
Yes,
was on the show. Madison Eagles was on the show. Shazza McKenzie, Madison and Shazza had a match. I think Crackerjack took on Bonza, but he wasn't Jack.
It says Bluey Bonza.
Yeah,
so
he was
I'm
Bluey
guessing
Bonza.
that was Jack Bonza.
He was Bluey Bonza, but that's Jack Bonza. Robbie Eagles was in a tag match against Cletus and Pitbull, but I can't remember who his partner was.
Rocky Monero.
Oh, hey, Adelaide boy. Oh, yeah, I feel real bad that I didn't remember that. And that's all I'm remembering.
There was a Sean O'Shea, and who else was not mentioned? Mike Peterson.
Hartley Jackson was on there somewhere.
Mike Peterson, whoever that is, against Hartley Jackson. So is Mike?
Oh,
is that Mike Burr? I don't know. Mike Peterson.
No, it's not. No.
All right, so Greg is winning 2-1. Oh God, this is uncharted territory.
Wait, that's only 2 points?
Right.
I named like 8 people.
I thought
no.
I was saying, I thought it would be more,
also going
decisive.
back to September 2010 is when this first MCW show. So, which movie was in the US box office that same weekend as MCW had their first show? So I've got the top 3 earners from that weekend. So either any of the 3 would do. So think back to 2010. Good luck.
Well, it was 2010.
2010. When? Like September?
Yeah.
Bzz. Wait, do I need to give you the number 1?
Yes. Oh, let's go top 3. You've got to give a compliment.
Your I enjoy your written interviews because I've never known how to do a written interview.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all been a learning process, but yeah. Everyone should read them, whoever's listening. You should read them.
And read Mr. Mysterious's written interviews. I'm going to go ahead and say Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
No, it's not in the list. Mysterious, you got any?
Really?
2010. Wow.
You got a compliment
The Social
first?
Network? I got a compliment. Okay. You're a great wrestling fan to sit next to at a live show.
When I'm drinking.
Sometimes you get... Yeah, when you're drinking, yeah, apparently. But no, yeah, The Social Network, I think, would be one.
That is a point. Social Network was third for the weekend. Second place was Red. First place was JD. So Social Network was in its second or third weekend, I believe.
What was first?
Yeah.
Jackass 3D.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I just know 2010 was Scott Pilgrim and Kick-Ass both came out, and I love those movies. So I was like, if I say one of these, there's a chance. Well, I'm sorry.
I was thinking like Toy Story 3 or like Inception or something.
The movies came out. Okay.
Yeah, well, they do these on the quiz that they have on Post-Wrestling podcast. I thought, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do the box office for the time. And because at the time of doing this quiz was the King of Pro Wrestling was on. So who was the last King of England? Yeah, who was what was the name of the last King of England? His name, and then bonus point for his number of
Wade Barrett.
No, I need a buzz in first of all. Yes.
Mr. Mysterious.
This is to win, by the way. You got 2-all.
Mm-hmm.
You're always there. Yeah, all right. You're always there when I'm feeling sad. You reach out to me and you message and you check in, and you're a good friend, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Getting real.
Thank you, man.
Getting real.
This too.
Okay, so I'm going to say, for the win, King Henry the 9th. Is that a thing? I don't know.
No, wrong number and wrong name.
No. Fuck the King of England. How about that?
I feel like we'll have to get to this. We'll get there in the end.
So I'm just doing a compliment and just
compliment and then just a name and number.
Okay. Greg, I find it admirable how you're able to balance the wrestling podcasting and being a stay-at-home dad.
Man. I do other things too. I study, I work, and
yeah.
There's a lot going on. A lot of plates spinning.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go King George.
Yes, you got the name.
Ooh.
Okay.
George is like the worst kingly name. Just putting that out.
I know. Hear a lot about the fifth. 6?
He's bang on the money.
Oh, shit.
And for an extra bonus point, what year did he die?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Like,
that.
73.
Oh, come on. It's way before that.
Well, I don't fucking know.
Way before? Can we say like the decade? Like, I don't think I'm going to get like a
in the
bang on
50s.
year.
In the 50s.
Sorry?
In the 1950s.
In the
56.
1950s.
Hey, you're not in this, mate.
Oh. Yeah, but you know what? You only gave me 1 point for naming almost the entire fucking MCW card, so this is really...
Yeah. 51?
No, it was 52, but you've won it. You've
52,
I'm very
okay.
impressed that you got George VI. So
Imagine winning a wrestling quiz by naming a fucking king, right?
we just had King of the
When
Ring
I just
recently as
listed
well.
off an entire card from a show from
Love
2010.
King Corbin.
The entire card almost, and I don't win. This is why this is rigged, except when it's about music, and then it's acceptable.
Just when you said you were starting to love the quiz.
All right, let's get back to the business at hand. Right after we listen to a word from all the people that pay the bills when they actually pay us. Yeah, just throwing that out there.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey everyone, just want to take a second to tell you about one of our new sponsors, Outbreak Nutrition. Outbreak Nutrition are creating supplements for survival, sharper minds, quicker reflexes, all the energy you need to take your performance to the next level, whether that be on the field, in the gym, on the gaming field. That's right, they have specifically designed gaming supplements as well to help you focus on those late night sessions. They even sell coffee, you guys, at Outbreak Nutrition. You can get coffee pods, you can get coffee beans, you can get supplements for the bedroom as well if you want to enhance your performance there. These are performance enhancing supplements for every aspect of your life, specifically designed by gamers, for gamers, to stay fit and healthy in the gym, to stay sharp and focused on the game, and to dominate in all areas of life. So check out OUTBREAKNutrition.com, and for being a listener of our podcast, they will give you 10% off your order when you enter the code B+. That is BPLUS at checkout. So make sure, if you want to stay on top of your game, if you want to take your performance to the next level, OUTBREAKNutrition.com, enter the code B+ at checkout. And we're back, and we're going to rush through some... There's still so much we haven't talked about. Like, it's been a couple of weeks, so we haven't talked about New Japan in a while. Before we do, though, New Japan's parent company, Bushiroad, purchased Stardom recently. Ben Tokyo, you're our man on the ground in Japan.
Jeez, make it sound like I'm an expert here. So what came out of this?
You've been there. There. Have you been to Japan, Mr. Mysterious?
I have not, only in my dreams.
Neither have I.
I've been there 7 times, yes.
So,
okay. But the Bushiroad thing, so they're planning on keeping it separate, last I heard. A lot of the word on the street is that the dark match at one of the Wrestle Kingdom nights could be a Stardom show, Stardom match. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah, and we've also New Japan's like doing their New Japan of America. We don't have that in our outline, and so I guess lots of happenings with New Japan.
Oh
and Bushiroad.
Yeah, New Japan Bushiroad, they're like doing like New Japan continues its expansion, so they're opening up an American division, which says a lot for their relationship with Ring of Honor. Which don't have Ring of Honor in the outline either, but I think we should talk about Ring of Honor too in a second. But
did you see the pictures today from their show?
I did not. I have not seen the pictures from today. No.
There was some like rule 1 of like when you don't have a good house, don't go brawling through the crowd, and like the camera shots is just like a few scattered people in the front few rows that the wrestlers are going through.
So how many people are we talking about? Like a couple of hundred at most?
Oh, from this camera angle, you could only very few. I don't know. I might try to find it and send it in the chat. But.
Well, Ring of Honor though, they've been on a bit of a decline, and Joey Mercury left the company, right?
Yeah, backstage.
Just going completely off script. Joey Mercury left the company. He's changed his Twitter name to Mercury and Retrograde, which, as an astrology guy, that popped me. And he's just going off. He's just going off about how bad Ring of Honor is, how Bully Ray should never have been put in that position where he had to confront the fan, but Sinclair don't pay for fucking security, and there's no security, and it's unsafe, and they're booking people with concussions to fly to South Africa and clearing that even though they haven't been medically cleared. That was in relation to Kelly Klein, and he went on a massive rant. Like, I couldn't even tell you all the things he said. Like, go read his Twitter, because it's highly entertaining, because he's not necessarily the most verbose person.
No.
So like in terms of it can be hard to read, and you can struggle to know what exactly he's saying there. And he's trying to be cryptic about some of it too. But he's like posting screenshots of conversations he's having with the general manager, Greg Gilliland. Sucks to be sharing a name with a douchebag. But
I thought Jay Mercury was like a backstage in WWE. Does he not work there anymore? Or how long did he leave?
No.
No.
That's how much I pay attention.
For a while.
Like, given the amount of like,
well, it's hard to know with agents.
There's so many like WWE producers that come and go. Like, you have like Lance Storm's just been announced to be a new WWE producer in the next once his school's shut down. But yeah, I thought
you're probably thinking of Jamie Noble. Jamie Noble works with WWE.
Jamie's still there, yeah.
Right?
Like they were the security at one stage for
Shane McMahon.
Was it Seth or was it?
Yeah, for Seth Rollins when he was doing his heel run.
Yeah, with this Bushiroad with like Stardom. Then I've never actually watched Stardom. Haven't even seen them live in Japan. I've seen probably a dozen different promotions in Japan. So you might be more of an expert on Stardom than I am.
Yeah. Stardom are probably the biggest women's promotion, at least in the West. I don't think they do the biggest numbers in Japan. I think, Sendai Girls might outdraw them. I'm not sure. In terms of, like, live attendance. I don't think they're the biggest in terms of live attendance. Their buildings always look kind of small. But they are definitely the most known in the West and stuff. And, like, their girls have worked Shimmer shows in the past. And obviously they have the relationship with AEW as well now. So, it's the whole Bushiroad buying them thing is interesting. WWE apparently wanted to buy them.
Yeah, they're trying to buy Noah. Like they want to get their NXT Japan footing, like by working on the bones of a company that's already there. So, and a lot of a
lot of the Japanese companies are like, no thanks.
Yeah, no.
This went to when this have Australian NXT. God, we're not going to be happy.
We'll
might
get
be
there.
Closer than you think, man.
Might
be closer than you think.
It's weird to think that NXT. No, not NXT. It's weird to think that New Japan invaded America before America invaded, like WWE invaded New Japan.
I feel like if MCW or somebody gets like taken over, then I'm just going to like boycott these companies. So, well, we've got TCW.
I think that's Bushiroad buying Stardom and then announcing New Japan of America was kind of their way of flipping off WWE.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it had to be. Like, that's they're like, look, we know what you guys are up to, and it's not happening on our watch, which is kind of nice, right? Because Bushiroad are already involved in the wrestling industry, and this is good for Stardom, man, because, New Japan have grown leaps and bounds in terms of foreign audience and all that sort of stuff, and they were already in a better place than Stardom in Japan. New Japan was already like a legacy and whatnot, but they've grown massively in terms of revenue and international exposure and stuff since the purchase from Bushiroad. So, Stardom look poised to potentially become the biggest women's wrestling brand on the planet, potentially. Because, I mean, what else is there? There's Women of Wrestling. There's Shimmer. These things don't have... I don't know, Bushiroad behind Stardom could really push this.
Do you know what Bushiroad is, by the way? I know what it is, but do you guys know what they do? They're card games. Yeah, it's like Whereas New Japan, formerly owned by Ukes, the video game company, it's so weird that like such a big wrestling company can be owned by something so unrelated. Like WWE, it's just them. Imagine if somebody else owned WWE, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Well, the public owned WWE. WWE is a publicly traded company.
Yes. Well, nice. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Greg, for. Yeah.
With sponsors
you are
and all
the
that.
boss.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Anyway.
The power is power to the people.
Apparently we are the bosses, if you remember last time. God.
What's next on our list here?
We
haven't talked about New Japan itself, though, right? Like, there's a lot going on in New Japan. I'm about 20 hours behind on New Japan.
Can we quickly... I'm going through my notes. What happened? We had a King of Pro Wrestling. Zack Sabre Jr. and Moxley, they both... The whole, not the hurricane, the typhoon was happening, so they couldn't get there. So we had the whole Keishan Liger thing we're all looking forward to versus Suzuki, which turned into like a grapple fest match, and it's just like, what the fuck, man? This is not the match that they sold me. It was still a good match and all, but not what not what he was expecting, I think. So, and then
definitely. But they also stripped Moxley of the title, right?
Yeah, that's New Japan. If you don't turn up to a show they're advertised for, even though it's legitimate reason, and like Tinfoil Hats might think otherwise.
Typhoon.
And, but the best match on the show, El Phantasmo versus Will Ospreay, fucking loved it. Absolutely fantastic match that was for the junior heavyweight title and Australians.
Yeah, yeah. I did watch that match. Man, there's no argument from anyone, right? Will Ospreay's Wrestler of the Year.
Damn straight.
He's got to be. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's happening with the Super Junior Tag League? Because I haven't caught much of it.
I haven't watched any of it. But we're probably, then the final is probably happening as we're recording right now because Power Struggle is happening. Actually, this would have been the start of the third hour right now, actually. So the final is Roppongi 3K, Shonyo versus El Desperado and Kanemaru. So I'm guessing Shonyo will win that and then face Ishimori and El Phantasmo on one of the nights at Wrestle Kingdom. And
wait, so Birds of Prey aren't in the running anymore?
Well, I guess. Well, hopefully Robbie has something to do with Wrestle Kingdom. Ospreay still has his junior single bit.
I really thought Birds of Prey were going to win it, not just because Robbie's one of ours, but
because the best. Yeah,
that's just. I really thought Birds of Prey were going to win
big
it.
singles matches on the Power Struggle, so I'm looking. As soon as we're wrapped up here, I'm going to go back and watch it. Hiroki Goto challenging Jay White for the Intercontinental title, and we've got Ishimori challenging for the openweight match, never openweight title. Hopefully, no more concussions or stingers to Kenta in this. So, but that match was pretty fantastic, despite the injury last time.
Fingers crossed.
So I'm looking at the news feed now, and I am seeing, of course, Chris Jericho has shown up.
Was he there in person, or was it a video?
As well. Chris Jericho challenges Hiroshi Tanahashi to Wrestle Kingdom match for the 5th of January, so not the 4th. Let's see. After Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kota Ibushi defeated Okada and Yoshihashi at Power Struggle, AEW World Champion appeared on the video wall. Yeah. So it's just a video. He knocked out a bunch of Japanese men in Tanahashi wigs. And then challenged the Ace to a match.
That's a lot of different wigs as well, if you think we had all Tanahashi hairstyles.
That's amazing. Now I want to watch this video. Just a bunch of random guys in Tanahashi wigs. It would have been better if it was the Inner Circle guys. In Tanahashi wigs. Just Jake Hager. Just... Oh!
All the dick kicks from his Bellator fight.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's the New Japan news.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah. So we'll move a lot towards to Wrestle Kingdom. Obviously, that's the next big show is Wrestle Kingdom. So
yeah. Well, World Tag League's going to start up in a week or so,
tag teams,
and I probably won't watch any of that as well.
Not a fan of the tag leagues.
Yeah. When New Japan gives a shit about the tag division, then maybe I will.
Considering it's booked by two guys that made their bones as a tag team, like, how do you not care about the tag? I don't understand it. But anyway, that's one of the things I love about AEW, man, is how much they clearly care about the tag division. Like, it feels important. Even their 6-man matches tend to feel important.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Anyway, NWA is a lot of fun. You guys been keeping up with NWA Power?
I've only watched the first 2 episodes, so I'm going to just hand it over to you guys.
Well, I'm 1 week behind, but I'll say this much. Ricky Starks, fucking star, that kid.
Absolute, yeah. He's got the look, he's got just the charisma. He's just, yeah.
I've heard I'm 1 episode behind, but I've heard that he challenges Aaron, what's his name?
Aaron Stevens.
Damien Sandow.
Yeah, Damien Sandow. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I first saw him, I'm looking at him and go, God, this guy looks familiar. Who? And then I'm like, I think there was some chant, like people yelling out stuff in the audience, and I was like, oh, it's him, Sandow.
That's the thing.
He took the Mizdow thing seriously, and he's no longer a stunt double. He's actually become a thespian, an actor.
Yeah.
An accomplished actor.
And that's kind of thing, like when he confronted Ricky Stark, or when Ricky Starks confronted him, he's just like, oh, you want to be my stunt double? That was that little poke that they did.
Nice. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I've become an instant fan of Ricky Starks. I've become an instant fan of Damian Sandow. Aaron Solo, is it Solo? Solomon? I feel like it's something with an S.
Aaron Stephen, yeah.
Aaron Stevens. Is it Aaron Stevens?
Aaron Stevens.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, and I don't know. I'm really enjoying NWA, man. It's a nice light hour of wrestling. I actually watch it before I watch AEW Dark now. You know, the first 2 weeks I was like, I'm gonna watch AEW Dark and then I'll go watch, you know, the NWA because it's on for us. It's on a Wednesday morning.
Mm-hmm. Same day, same time. Yeah.
Yeah, and so my morning routine. They both go live on YouTube at the same time. My morning routine is, you know, wake up and eat breakfast while watching NWA Power. I originally for the first 2 weeks I was watching AEW Dark, but I've switched to NWA Power. It's kind of the highlight of my wrestling week.
It's like very like light on the wrestling, like the durations on the match itself, but it's just the story, the feel, those stupid ads that they run.
The spanners and
the throwback ads. Oh,
the throwback parody ads.
Yeah.
What was it?
Waffles and tire irons.
Flapjacks and tire irons or something.
Yeah. The latest one was
waffles and tire irons. That was it. Waffles and tire irons. Oh god.
You got the kayfabe cocktail is the latest one. I'll leave it at that.
Kayfabe cocktail.
Yeah.
Is there going to be one about wristwatches and wrist locks or something as well? Maybe coming up.
I hope so. That's amazing. I'm enjoying it a lot, and you know, hats off to NWA for everything they're doing. They did release a statement recently that they don't endorse Jim Cornette. Did you guys see this?
I did, yeah. So Jim Cornette's making an ass of himself online, and naturally they want to just, yeah.
As usual.
He's joking about suicide, I think is the allegation, because someone found a tweet where he said that someone should be hung. Who was it that he said should be hung?
It's probably Kenny. I don't know. Isn't it normally Kenny Omega who's having a rant about?
Business. He said that
Joey Janelle.
I can't remember who it was, but he said that someone should be hung, and someone was like, "Oh, you shouldn't make light of suicide," and he was just like, "Look, I didn't say he has to do it. I left it open that someone could do it for him."
Just like
to which I mean, to be fair, he's right. He did say they should be hung. He didn't say he should hang himself. He said he should be hung. So technically, he wasn't joking about suicide. But God, do you have to be such a dick?
I won't be sad the day that he's not around anymore. God, it's gonna be nice.
Yeah,
I won't have to have him blocked anymore on Twitter.
But that's not the only Twitter controversy. We've got a couple more to touch on. What did you guys? Now this is going to be awkward for us to talk about as three white men, especially one who, as you pointed out earlier, has dreads. A WWE racist, probably. Yes. Jordan Miles says so.
Yes.
All right. The T-shirt image came out, and I'm not sure where I saw it first, but I'm looking at it, and there was like whatever caption, and it probably took me a good 4 or 5 seconds to go, oh. So I didn't see it. I didn't see it immediately, but I'm like, what? Oh, I get it. Yeah.
We don't have the same cultural history of blackface as America does, you know?
No.
So it's hard for us to know, but like hearing all this stuff come out, like hearing like Booker T's takes on it, and which Booker T was like, there's too many black shirts in wrestling, which I'm like, yes! Yes, Booker T, there are! That's not the issue here.
Yes, and too many wrestling fans have cats that like get their bloody hair all over those black wrestling t-shirts. I can tell you that experience today. It's like, no cat, get off me. Let me take my LIJ shirt off.
Wrestling fans with cats.
Yep.
I feel like it's another sad stereotype. Like the wrestling fan with cats is like the new crazy cat lady. Seriously, I can't tell you how many wrestling fan dude guys I know who have cats. I'm like, get a dog, guys.
Well, two of the three people on this panel right now are in that category, so...
Dog is man's best friend, and also it doesn't make me sneeze. So,
do you guys have a wrestling shirt on right now, actually? But I'm wearing my Brat Pack singlet.
I do.
I have one on right now, yeah.
Okay, well, go around the circle. What are we wearing?
It's a black shirt as well.
Of course we're all wearing fucking wrestling shirts.
Are we all wearing
black
shirt
as well, so yeah.
No, I'm wearing a blue Colt Cabana t-shirt.
I'm wearing a black Warship t-shirt.
Who's Warship? Is that an Australian wrestler?
He's Queensland's. Okay. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Look at us.
And so you got the Brat Packs. No, so but it's one of those things, where Booker T was like, yeah, there's too many black shirts in wrestling, and I was like, yes, hallelujah. I was like all amped up because I'm on a big anti-black shirt crusade, but I'm like, also Booker T, that's not the issue. Like the issue is what's on the black shirt. I don't know. There was like email exchanges released, and Jordan is just like, they don't care about the black man. You got to listen to his experience. You know, like I feel like the people that are coming out, like I think Titus O'Neil came out as well, just being like, you're doing it the wrong way. Like handle this sort of shit in house. And Booker T was like, handle this sort of shit in house. And then you get people critiquing millennials, like, oh, millennials, you're just quick to complain about anything on Twitter. They were like, maybe he felt like he couldn't handle this in house. Like there was no one to listen to him. But the people will listen if you put it out there, because that's pretty fucked up, dude.
People going to learn one day from signing with WWE.
Triple H told the guy to make it. Look, Triple H wore blackface on TV. A different time. Different time, 90s, different standards, for sure. There were different standards.
Vince McMahon said the N-word.
Pretty questionable.
But was it a Raw pay-per-view or something? Yeah.
Vince McMahon said the N-word on TV.
In front of Booker T.
It took them how many years to have a black champion, Kofi Kingston, and then he loses it.
Oh, he had the reign
in 5 seconds, and his whole reign has been swept away. And there's been racist imagery in other merch as well.
Kofi Kingston's nobody cared about Kofi Kingston's previous shirts, and I posted them in our group.
Here comes the boom one.
That's basically a caricature thing.
Yeah,
Jamaican. Yeah.
Well, it's like a bomb with blackface on the bomb, but like there's a history here. There's a history, and that's something we gotta look at. And I think they could be a little. Maybe they would do well to listen to Jordan Miles. Maybe they would do well to put some. Are there any black executives in WWE?
Oh, don't know.
Does anyone know?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Are there any people? Are there any African American men or women in positions of power in WWE?
No, highly doubtful.
Oh, well, some of the writers is the.
They come and go many times.
That's that guy that was isn't he one of the head writers? He was the guy that did all the rock stuff or something. Sanjin Singh or something like that, wasn't there? Like not black guy, obviously, but non-white.
Yeah,
yeah,
a person of color at least. But
like producer roles, but not in terms of like backstage producer roles, but not in terms of like corporate positions, as far as I'm aware.
And this is why you can get to a point where you're releasing shirts that there's no one on the team to just be like, hey guys, hey.
Why don't you look at this a little bit closer? Look at this for an extra 3 seconds.
Yeah, you need. This is why. I mean, look, I tend to be on the more libertarian conservative side of things, generally speaking. Socially, I'm very much about freedom and all that, but like, it's one of those things where like you don't want to tell companies what to do. I don't believe in mandate, like government mandating companies do this or do that or anything like that, and quotas and things like this get thrown around all the time. But really, like as fans, I want to push companies to be like, hey, look, diversity is a fucking good thing. Like when people say diversity is our strength, and people on the other side may mock that or whatever, but like it's true. It's true. Because if you have a diverse group of people, you're more likely to catch things like this. Like because not everyone's going to see it. Like you said, it took you a couple of seconds to see it, right? Like it's going to take, like I've seen a lot of especially white people online being like, I don't see what's going on here. And it has to be explained to them, right? Why this shirt is bad. And a lot of the times they'll just be like, oh, that's stupid. That's a rah, rah. No, dude, that there's a history here. Like, yeah, we need to listen to one another. And diversity is very important in these sorts of situations because it can help these situations be avoided. Like something else that should be avoided, shipping a video game.
Nice segue.
Yeah.
That's completely fucking broken.
This is a couple weeks now, I think. Has it been fixed at all? Been patched? It's the WWE 2K.
No,
if you haven't learned by now that these games are just going to be not good in the first place, you deserve anything coming to you.
Has it seriously still not been patched?
No, they are offering refunds to some people, but you listen to the conference call from Saudi Arabia about the latest financials and how they actually asked them about the 2K20 game. They said, and I quote, the reviews have been mixed.
From terrible to bad.
No, they haven't.
Mixed is in bad or fucking bad. Like that's the mix.
Wait, is this a case where the sites like IGN have given them good ratings or whatever because they have a relationship? Because that's possible.
I haven't listened to any more video game podcasts for a few weeks, so I've missed out on take on this stuff.
Well, I've just Googled fix WWE 2K20 just to see, and there's a video 7 hours ago. WWE 2K20 still broken after latest update. So, and there's clips of the Fiend clipping through things and looking weird. It's bad. It's really bad. It's the most broken video game I've ever seen.
The character creator stuff looks amazing when the faces have all come out of their heads. That looks amazing in the creator wrestler. Like Becky Lynch's hair is up above her head and her teeth are out in front of her eyes and stuff.
My favorite one is just the completely broken physics engine. When you see them just go through the ring for some reason and then they're in the ring and they're doing this weird kneeling walk.
Oh, yeah.
What is that? What is that walk that they're doing? And it's something that happens a lot. I'm seeing it in clip after clip after clip. They're doing this weird kneeling walk where their legs are bending in ways that no human legs bend. And I'm just, what the fuck happened here? How did this get released?
The one with the referee looking at with Charlotte and Sasha Banks or something.
Yeah, and it looks like they're having an orgy of some kind. Pretty sure I've tried that position. It's awful. It's so bad. It's so bad. You got to check out the video clips of these because if you're hashtag fix WWE 2K20, if you haven't seen it, man, just I understand.
It's got a Metacritic of 41. So
I understand that they had an issue with the developer leaving. Right, the developer pulled out, and they had someone else take over. And they had to build a lot of things from scratch or what have you. Delay the game. Don't ship a game that is this fucking broken. Ever. Ever. I play Bethesda games, dude. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I play Bethesda games. This makes a Bethesda game look like a fucking Rockstar game. Because Rockstar games are almost always ship completely bug-free. It's bad. It's just bad.
I heard the analogy about how, with the developers, how they changed the teams or something, how it was like they were living in a rental and they told them to just leave everything for the new tenant. And it's just they don't know where everything is. They don't know what's been done about the house. It's just them picking up all these plans and schematics and just well, what are we meant to do with this?
Yeah. Look, there's just no excuse for it. I don't care what happened. I don't care what happened behind the scenes. Delay the game. Games get delayed. It happens, you know? You don't need to have your game come out in a certain month every year. I mean, look, yearly games generally, trash.
Yeah.
The sporting games, they barely improve year over year. And then there'll be a new console come back and they'll rest anyway. So they'll strip out all the features.
One every year.
Yeah.
I hope AEW announce a game soon and I hope they knock it out of the park because they're talking about using the No Mercy and and WCW and NWO Revenge engine, which was the best.
No Mercy is the best
wrestling engine ever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's all we got though. Really. I mean, we can talk quickly about other shows that we've watched in the last week or so, but I think we can probably wrap it up here.
It's been
I'd say so.
Epic recording.
Yeah. Oh wait, we wanted to talk about OTT, right? We wanted to talk about the OTT match, which is getting called Match of the Year.
Yeah, Devlin versus Star.
Yeah.
I guess number 2. So my history with OTT is when they put out that video for the previous Devlin and Star match with the whole wall thing worked into it and the big heel turn from Star. Like, that video was knocking around on Twitter. And it's like, holy fucking shit, I've never even heard of OTT, and I'm buying the show. And I bought that show, and that match came on first. Like, we're not waiting for the end of the night. We're doing this match now. And absolutely loved that. A bit more of a brawl than like this match was from memory. So that was, I don't know if it was even this year or last year now. And then I saw that this match had happened, and I'd completely missed it. Then I went and watched the Heart video. So then yesterday afternoon, it's like, I've got nothing to do this afternoon, so time to put on 3 hours of Irish wrestling. And that match was the main event, and absolutely loved it. It was terrific. So,
well, because the build up that they had, I mean, they've managed to turn Jordan Devlin, who was the ace of OTT. He's the Irish ace. He's the king of that fucking company. And they turned him into the bad guy.
By association of WWE.
Yeah, just by promos. Just by David Starr just doing what David Starr does. David Starr, look, okay, if Will Ospreay is the wrestler of the year, I really feel like David Starr has to be the worker of the year.
Yeah.
Because
he works you. He works you and he makes you fucking feel things. His promos are incredible. It just and he turned with like 2 promos or whatever, turned the entire crowd who love Jordan Devlin against him because he's WWE, he's corporate, and Jordan Devlin stands for the little guy. I'm never going to leave you. I'm never going to leave you. They don't want me. I don't want them, right? I'm the little Jewish guy who told off Sinclair Corporation. The Ring of Honor don't want me either. Like, nobody wants me. I'm for you guys. I am independent wrestling. I'm David
What
Starr.
doesn't he like about
And,
Sinclair,
like,
by the way, before we go past that? Because I've missed all that backstory there.
Well, they're far right,
okay.
corporate, it's the corporate structure and disagrees with their politics. And, I think a lot of people do. A lot of people don't like big corporations, and with many, many a good reason, but Sinclair are very conservative.
Right.
And they had a whole issue with the Ring of Honor title being defended on a Jewish
Yeah. I remember
in
that.
Israel, right? Yeah. And so anyway, David Starr is kind of that guy. He's the independent wrestling guy, and he's very left wing, and he's very vocally against the conservative establishment, like Vince McMahon, dealing with Saudi Arabia and being part of the Trump cabinet, like Linda McMahon being part of the Trump cabinet and all that sort of stuff. And he's very vocally against these things. And also, this really works for him in the UK, especially because, the WWE have come in and signed everyone up, which, you got to be happy for the guys for making money, of course. But at the same time, wow, I just saw the picture of the Ring of Honor crowd, and that looks awful. That looks awful.
There's like 3 rows.
It's like mostly the camera people
from that camera angle, anyway.
What is going on at this show? Anyway, in the UK, like WWE came in and signed everyone up and sort of, according to a lot of people there, ruined the local scene. And so here's this guy who's like, I'm all about the local scene. I'm all about the small guy. And he turned everyone against Jordan Devlin. And just the storytelling in the match, the storytelling in you got to watch it. It's being hailed as match of the year by a lot of people. I think that's a bit of recency bias. I don't know. I think it's too soon to say if it's match of the year. I think you got to watch it again and watch it.
It's not my match of the year.
Watch a couple of other things. But David Starr is absolutely incredible, and I think we're going to talk about him a lot in the coming years. He's incredible. He's incredible. There's nothing else to say about it. I think that's a good place to leave it.
Did he ever work in Australia? Has MCW, PWA ever brought him over?
He needs to come over.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, if where WWE goes to sign people, he should just follow and just continue getting over on that. Because it works.
NXT Australia. He's like, don't worry, I'm going to look after you guys.
Yeah, I got your back, guys. I'll come in and win your titles, and I'll be the guy. And he's an invader too. That's the thing.
I was surprised my fan he was actually American. I always thought, I guess he just must be from Europe, and from.
He's heavily associated with BritRes, but it's because he's smart and he saw opportunity and went and took it. And American indie wrestling not that great at the moment, you know.
There's so many.
I like GCW. Yeah. They did a big rant about that on Voices of Wrestling too, and they've been talking about it for a while. But I like GCW. I'm not like whereas they use GCW as an example of, you know, when all the good wrestlers get signed, the crap rises, right? Like that's kind of their theory on GCW. But I like GCW. I don't think it's crap. I think it's just a different market. That's all it is. A bit, you know, that's different.
Depends on your taste.
Yeah, different flavors of ice cream. But yeah, the OTT thing, I think that's a good place to end it because it's a happy thing about wrestling, right? Like wrestling is good right now. There's a lot of really fucking good wrestling.
Yeah, just need to venture out from what you like. I'm not normally watching OTT and things like this or NWA before, but you know it's out there and there's free stuff you can just easily watch as well.
Yeah, go watch MCW. Go watch PWA on OVO Play, man. Newcastle Pro Wrestling. They had a Halloween show. It was lots of fun. There's wrestling out there. Like there's so much happening that no matter what you like about wrestling, you can find something. And I highly recommend everyone. You know, I mean, you know, stay tuned to WWE for the next couple of weeks and see if this whole NXT thing keeps picking up steam and if it's any good. But if it all becomes samey again and you get bored and it's crap, instead of bitching about wrestling, which we all fall into the trap of, instead of bitching about wrestling, just turn off your WWE network, take that $10, put it into any one of the other million companies. Put it into independentwrestling.tv first, and you can trial a bunch of them, right? And then maybe you want to go to Chikarotopia. Maybe you want to go to OVO Play and watch PWA. That $10 a month, or $15, I guess it is for us here in Australia, can be spent on far better things than watching WWE. There's so much wrestling out there, even for free on YouTube and shit. There's no excuse. Like Riot City Wrestling, they put all their shows on YouTube for free. There's no excuse for you to not be able to find something you like so that we don't just have to have this constant negativity and bitching about wrestling. There is good stuff happening if you look for it. And, you know, if you shoot us a message, we're always happy to tell you where it is, and we'll tell you where you can do that. But once again, if you want to join the B Plus team for 2020, we're going to be relaunching 2020. This is the last time you'll hear from us in a regularly scheduled way, but we'll throw you some episodes every now and then as things happen.
Is there still going to be Aussie Graps and your solo stuff as well, Mysterious?
No, I'm taking a break. I don't know about Mysterious. What are you doing, Mysterious? Are you taking a break for the holidays too?
I'll take a little bit of a break. Like, as we said, like if there's anything big things happening, like I feel like I want to talk about Super Fight in the next coming few days, but I just
MLW,
yeah, they just had their big first pay-per-view on Fight TV, so yeah, I'll have to definitely talk about that one. But yeah, so I haven't got any interviews scheduled for Aussie Graps. I was going to go to Supernova today, but I had some car problems, and so I didn't get out to Supernova, and that was going to be my last Aussie Graps. But I haven't got anything scheduled at the moment, other than I'm planning my my New Year's episode, which is, you know, the wrestlers to watch for 2020, right? Which my list for 2019, all very successful, you know. Yeah,
Sam
absolutely.
Osborne was on that list. Lena Cross was on that list. Jet and Tyson were on that list. You know, I pick winners. So if you want to know who to watch in 2020. You know, stay tuned for New Year's Day because that'll be coming out. But yeah, no, we're taking a break for a bit. No regularly scheduled stuff. You know, big things happening. We'll talk about. Like, I'll probably review the PWA Jushin Liger show. I'll probably do that. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But if you want to join the team, if you want to get involved, if you want to help us grow through 2020, because I'm going back to uni full time as well, so it's you know, big endeavor 2020 to keep this going. So if you want to get involved and help out. Please hit us up. Let us know. Where can people find you guys online, starting with Ben Tokyo?
At Asiamania Pod on Twitter. And I did my monthly movie podcast that's out. We did Howard the Duck. That was Justin and I. We recorded that episode. Yes, I'd never seen it before. It was not great. We talked more about other stuff, to be honest. So that podcast, just look for the Something Podcast Network, or just put in the Bamcast, Howard the Duck. That's what you're there.
Gotta love that animal magnetism. I am at Miss Mysterious with a 1 and 7 eye on all the socials, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Grapple. Hit me up, guys. We'll still be doing news on the Facebook. Hit us up about all the other stories coming out, and we want to grow the team, we want to expand, we want to come back bigger and better for 2020.
And if you want to find me, I am at Greg Unchained on Twitter and Stationhead at the Greg Unchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B Plus Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit the B Plus Wrestling everywhere else. Like, share, subscribe, 5-star review if you like what we do, and thank you so much for listening.
Catch you guys.